What's going on, everyone? This is James Hernandez. How you all doing? And welcome back to the next episode of Characters Face Off. This is Characters Face Off episode 13. Yes, we're on the 13th episode of the Characters Face Off series. And today's episode is going to be the very first original match. It's going to be a battle between two brunette ladies in hand-to-hand combat. So you have Silk Spectre from Watchmen versus Faith Connors from Mirror's Edge. Now, we're going to be using the Laurie Jupiter Silk Spectre, and we're going to be covering her from the Watchmen movie, the graphic novel, and the prequel comics before Watchmen. As for Faith Connors, we're going to be using her from two Mirror's Edge games, even though there's only two Mirror's Edge games, and it's not really a big franchise, but what do you expect? But anyways, today we're going to be talking about who would win in a fight when these two ladies go at it. So, let's get this match started. So first, let's talk about Silk Spectre. So Silk Spectre, also known as Laurie, which is her real name, is one of the main characters from the Watchmen series. She is the daughter of Sally Jupiter, the original Silk Spectre, and Edward Blake, also known as the comedian. Laurie was born on December 1st, 1949. She wanted to work with animals originally, but her mother pushed her to be her successor in the business of crime fighting. So despite that she doesn't like the idea of following her mother's footsteps, she did agree and spend most of her life in the gym working out, and she did become her mother's successor by becoming the second Silk Spectre. She then became the member of the superhero team, the Watchmen. She had a relationship with John, also known as Dr. Manhattan, but she left him due to him being more disconnected from humanity and more focused on his projects. So she then moved and spent time with Dan Dreiberg, also known as Night Owl, and that's where these two became a romantic couple throughout the Watchmen graphic novel and the movie. But now, it's time to talk about her powers, abilities, and feats. Laurie's main ability is that she is a master of martial arts. She has been training ever since she was 5 years old by her mother and several other teachers. She is able to hold her own against several muggers and other foes without being injured or getting hurt, which is the same thing. Laurie is an excellent gymnastic. Is very excellent at doing gymnastic skills. After training all of her life in the prequel comics before Watchmen, she is very well balanced, since she can perform like flips and kicks while wearing her high heels, when she actually beats the living daylights out of the muggers and several other foes. Laurie can also use weapons like firearms, which is a gun. For example, she uses a gun to shoot the bullet at Adrian, also known as Ozymandias, despite that he catches it with his hand. But that's not the only weapon she has. She also has other weapons like a copper water pipe, which she uses it to actually hit the guy's legs so hard in the prequel comics. And she also has a machete, which she can slice you and basically just decapitate you. That would make Jason Voorhees very proud. And she also has her heel shoe, which she can actually stab her opponents throughout on the neck and her throat. And she also has a knife. She can use a knife to actually stab her enemies, which she can actually uses it to actually stab her enemies, especially on the enemy's neck, really hard. Laurie is also strong enough to break bones with one strike and send them flying in the air. She can also jump from a distance over a dozen feet, and she performs a combat role. Now, Laurie has done a bunch of feats throughout her life. She has defeated muggers and prisoners in hand-to-hand combat. She survived breathing in Mars with the help of Dr. Manhattan with his powers. She punched a distracted cop by punching him in the face. She is strong enough to twist and break a person's neck, which causes about 800 degrees. She made a romantic move on Dan and made love with him when the Hallelujah song plays, which is pretty awkward. She's brave enough to save civilians from the burning building. She rescued Rorschach from prison with the help of Night Owl. She's fast enough to escape the burning building before it blew up. And she and Dan had a daughter named Sally Dreiberg at the Watchmen sequel Doomsday Clock. She is also strong enough to strangle two ladies with both of her arms and legs. She has fought opponents who are larger and stronger than her, and she's even strong enough to stab the guy's neck with her own boot. But just like every character throughout the series, she does have weaknesses. Because she is 100% human, she can get emotional when she discovers that the comedian was her real father the whole time, when Dr. Manhattan sees her past, present, and future, And one time she was kicked by Ozymandias when he catched a bullet, despite that she survived the kick from him. But overall, Lori is a skilled female member of the Watchmen universe with combat skills. And don't let her lovely outfit and her beautiful hair fools you, because she is willing to kill you when she gets her hands on you. So watch out for this girl. Now let's move on to her opponent, Faith Connors. Faith Connors, also known as Phoenix Carpenter, is the main protagonist of the Mirror's Edge game, Mirror's Edge, as well as the reboot Mirror's Edge Catalyst. She was born into the family of 4, growing close to her mother, Akira, while Kate grew close to their father. Faith's parents were protesters against the rise of the new regime that was seeping into the city, with her father providing feuds and leaderships to the Liberia's movement. Her parents brought their children to the November Roots, where Akira was unfortunately crushed to death as others sought to escape. After Akira's tragic death, Faith's father became depressed due to guilt to the point of alcoholism. So when Faith turned 16 years old, she left her father and Kate, presumably through the window at night, to live on the streets. So Faith began robbing homes, including Mercury's hideout. So when Faith was caught by Mercury, she was trained to become the runner. So without further ado, let's talk about her powers, abilities, and feats. Faith is an expert on running. She's pretty fast that she can actually run into different buildings and she can actually jump. She has high levels of agility, strength, endurance, speed, as well as stamina. And Faith, just like her opponent, has hand-to-hand combat skills. And she is willing to has the ability to run on walls, just like Spider-Man or even like the Final Fantasy characters. Although she cannot stay on the wall because, well, she's not Spider-Man, and she's not bit by a radioactive spider like Peter Parker. Now, Faith's feats has been pretty interesting. She has been trained by Mercury to become the runner. She has fought guards when she jumps from the building to another. She has defeated Jackknife by knocking him out of his helicopter, falling to his death and waste all of his ammo. And she even rescued her twin sister, Kate. However, just because she's an excellent runner, that doesn't mean that she's perfect. Because while she can survive falls, she can still break her legs and she can get killed by many bullets since she is a human and she is not a trained super soldier. Well, she is trained, but you know, she's not immortal. And while she uses weapons sometimes, she doesn't really use them a lot when it comes to combat. She mostly uses her hands in combat. And despite her combat skills and despite that she can knock the guards out, she's definitely not as brutal as people hope she would. And she can only run up to 5 miles per hour, which that's really kind of slow, but overall, Faith Connors is quite an excellent runner when she jumps from one building to another with her combat skills, agility, endurance, speed, and stamina. Alright, so now it's time for me to talk about who would win this fight. Now, I gotta be real here, guys. This is actually going to be one of the closest matches ever because both Silk Spectre and Faith Connors are evenly matched when it comes to martial arts skills and hand-to-hand combat. Both of them actually can handle everything on their own. Both of them has fought opponents that try to catch them, and they basically are known for knocking them out. So I felt like the winner of this fight should be Silk Spectre. Now, allow me to explain why I think Silk Spectre wins. While yes, these two are very similar in terms of combat skills and martial arts skills when they have been training in their whole lives. But with Silk Spectre, when she trains, she usually goes for the kill. Faith Connors, not really, because in the Mirror's Edge game as well as Catalyst, she is while she does break the guards arms and basically she would actually use her her interesting really cool takedowns. But her takedowns is definitely not as deadly or not as brutal or violent as Silk Spectre, because the Watchmen characters, while they don't have superpowers except for Dr. Manhattan, which he's the only character that has superpowers, the Watchmen characters have hand-to-hand combat skills, and when they fight, they usually go for the kill. You know, Rorschach does go for the kill when he basically kills the murderer of the little girl. As for Silk Spectre, she has been known for killing opponents before in the prequel comics, and while Faith Connors is fast and she can actually dodge bullets, Lori still has a gun and she still has the weapons advantage that Faith doesn't. And Faith Connors can still get easily hurt because Silk Spectre does have her strength advantage to break someone's bones. And Faith's bones can actually break easily if she actually was attacked by a lot of brute force. So while I do think that this fight would be very, very close, and I do think Faith would hold her own against Lori, I still don't think that Faith Connors will be able to be strong enough to hold down Silk Spectre, especially if she uses her takedowns. I can see like Silk Spectre trying to basically would like break Faith's legs or arms, and then she'll probably will like twist and break her neck, and that will causally will finish her off. Looks like in the end, Connors has tragically met her fate. The winner is Silk Spectre. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys really enjoy my channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, and turn on the notifications. And let me know, like, do you guys agree with my verdict or do you guys disagree? Let me know. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. So stay tuned for the next episode of Characters Face Off, and also stay tuned for the next movie I'm going to review. Is that I'm going to review Jaws, which I'm sure you guys have been waiting for Jaws since I've been reviewing 2 shark movies on my channel. So the first one I did was Shark Night, the second one I did was The Reef. So now the next shark movie I'm going to review after this video is Steven Spielberg's Jaws. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate all your support. You guys are awesome, and I'm happy that I was able to continue making videos. And yeah, I guess I think that's all I gotta say. So hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, take care.